Posted by you, Zuswajak, AITA for asking my husband if he resents our daughter? My husband and I have a 6-year-old daughter, Lily. When I was pregnant, my husband was convinced we were having a son. The thought of it being a girl never even crossed his mind. When we found out it was a girl, he didn't say anything, but I could see the disappointment on his face. Since Lily was born, my husband has always done more typically manly activities with her. Football, rugby, boxing, martial arts, DIY, etc. This doesn't bother me as she genuinely loves those things. When he comes from work, she drags him outside to play with her. However, more recently it's taken a more uncomfortable turn. Whenever she cries, he tells her to grow up, and that crying is for babies. Obviously, this wouldn't be right if she was a boy either, but I feel like he's trying to force anything feminine out of her. She's also taken an interest in some girly things with me. She loves makeup, adores it. She loves letting me put different makeup styles on her. She lets me paint her nails and I let her paint mine. Yesterday at dinner, Lily asked my husband if she could paint Daddy's nails for a change. He looked at her and said, "No, and don't ever ask me that again." She didn't cry but was silent for the rest of the day and was obviously devastated. Later before bed I asked him if I resent our daughter for not being the son he always dreamed of. He said, "How could you even think that?" And I pointed out that he tries to repress anything feminine out of her. He started calling me paranoid, and said that just because he didn't want to waste his time getting his nails painted doesn't mean he resents our daughter or wants to force her into anything. AITA? Now on to the next story. Posted by you, Analan. My 36F. Memory loss is damaging my friendships, so I'm going to just immediately admit that I'm the person at fault in this scenario and I know the why of it. I just need to know how I can do better. I suffer from depression, anxiety and ADHD. I also experienced the traumatic loss of my husband a year ago. All this has combined into a really awful cocktail of not being able to remember anything. My therapist has had to explain to me how I have literal brain damage as a result of my trauma. I can't remember if I've taken my meds, what day of the week it is, what appointments I have, who I said I'm going to hang out with, and all the little nuanced conversations in between. Sometimes that means I tell a friend 2 or 3 times about something exciting in my life. Sometimes that means I completely forget to tell my new BF about the same thing. And all in all, it stacks up into a million little things I've forgotten, right up until the most recent one little thing becomes the final straw. That's where I'm current at with my friend Pip, 25F. Her final straw was she was putting together a D&D game. We had a session 0, and the plan was to play on Sundays, but real life happened, and she had to postpone us starting because one of the friends joining had just had a baby. Then Pip lost her father, meaning we had everything on hold for months. I forgot I needed to keep Sundays open in the meantime, and I made another commitment on Sundays a few weeks ago. Last week, Pip came to us and says she's ready to start hosting, wants everyone's availability to see what time we're starting. And now I'm the only one not free on Sundays. It's my bad, Holy. I apologized and understood that means I'd have to drop her game, but she's hurt and feeling replaced. Any explanations or apologies I make just feel like excuses at this point, and I'm at a loss over what to do to repair the damage I've done unintentionally. TLDR. I'm forgetful to a fault due to medical reasons and my friend is fed up and I don't know how to set things right. Now on to the next story. Posted by you, Remarkable Iron 6480. AITA for taking the steps to evict my daughter and giving her car to our 17-year-old? My daughter is 20. She's one of 4. She doesn't work nor go to school. We've had countless discussions about this with her. My husband and I pay all her bills. College is not a necessity in our household, so if you're not going to attend school then work it is, only she hasn't held a job for longer than 3 months. Her complaint is that she never makes enough money to enjoy herself. I told her welcome to the real world, kid. The last job she held was over 2 years ago. My husband feels I'm expecting too much of her and to let her be and find her way. She has gotten multiple traffic violations, running red light, not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign, not wearing her seatbelt, speeding in a school zone while children are present, etc. Over 2.5K in tickets we weren't aware about. Just so happens she went through a roadblock and there was a warrant for her arrest for unpaid tickets and driving on a suspended license, which happened due to her unpaid tickets. I wanted to let her sit there, but my husband went and bailed her out. We had to pay a little over $700 for bail and to get her car out of the impound, and that's not including reinstatement fees. Upset about it, I had our eldest son take her battery out of her car, which sent her crying to my husband because he's usually the one who lets her get away with everything without holding her accountable. He tried talking me into giving her the vehicle back, but I refused. A car is a privilege. I gave the car to our 17-year-old, which has caused a hailspin of arguments with my daughter. I gave her a choice: go to school or get a job, but a car is out of the equation right now. Until she shows effort, I would no longer pay for her phone bill, no more getting her hair, nails, and feet done. No shopping money. I even cut off her emergency debit card down to $50 a month. She had 60 days to make up her mind about school or obtain a job. That's it. 60 days has come and gone, and she's been sulking around the house and crying to her father with every excuse in the book. She doesn't feel like college is for her. Understandable. She has these high expectations that she's supposed to be making a lot of money out of high school. She doesn't want to work a fast food job. I explained to her that most teenagers and young adults start off with fast food jobs, but there are other options. Most work their way up to a career of their choice. I did. Her father did. Her siblings did. Father has been pleading her case. I told him that she will never stand on her own if she doesn't know responsibility. I took the legal steps to have her evicted. She was served like 2 or 3 days ago, and it has caused an uproar in our house. My husband states I've gone too far. My daughter is in disbelief and can't believe I would put her out. I won't, but she doesn't know that. AITA? Now onto the last story. Posted by you, DJ Throwaway AITA for refusing to take care of my kid. My friend, 26F, and I, 26M. Go back since elementary, and we have been close friends since then. Our families are also close, so I don't have any attraction to her as a GF. I see her like a sister. Most of my GFs have been okay with her, and I try to make it clear the divide we have as friends. My fiancé is close friends with my friend and has been friends with her since before our relationship, and so it hasn't been any issues until now. Recently we had a get-together where my friend said she couldn't drink since she was pregnant. We were all shocked since she was single, and she admitted she fooled around with her ex and that might have gotten her pregnant. Her ex is across the country and an a-hole, so she really messed up her life with this. I asked her if she was going to keep the baby, thinking she might not, but she exclaimed she would because I could help her raise it. My GF stared at her and I managed to ask why she thought that. She said we were best friends, so I would be the father and help raise the child. I asked her, where did you get that idea? And she got annoyed and said, you are always there for me and already like a husband, so I should be there for her son like a father. I was shocked because yes, if she needed help with her car. I used to be a mechanic. I would help since she makes min wage and can't afford one. But I didn't think she would take it as me wanting to be her child's father or help raise it. I took a deep breath and told her I would always be her friend, but I'm not the father, so I'm not helping to raise her child and I'm not going to take a father role. She got mad and yelled at me for abandoning her and started crying, and a few of my friends were shaking their heads and called me later to tell me I should have been nicer. I felt like if I was nicer, she wouldn't have gotten it, and I wanted to make the situation crystal clear. My fiancé is mad because obviously it's caused a huge mess. My saving grace is that my fiancé and I were in another visiting her family and traveling for the month when the baby was conceived, so no one thinks I'm the actual father. My friend has been trying to call me and I'm not sure if I should respond. Thank you for listening to my channel, Everything Reddit. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe in order to get future notifications.